Welcome to the 30/30 Health Podcast. The following discussion is for education and entertainment. It is not intended to diagnose or treat disease. Please do not apply any of this information without first discussing it with your doctor. Here is your host, Dr. Ruiz.
Hello everyone, super excited about my guest today. My guest today is Erin Sanderson, aka the Fit Rocker Chick. She is an internationally recognized thyroid health advocate, certified health coach and trainer, personal style influencer, and skilled musician. We had an excellent conversation, but there were some technical difficulties, long story. But we picked up the conversation and everything is okay. So bear with us, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Hello everyone, super excited to be here for take 2 of the Fit Rock Chick interview at the 30/30 Health Podcast. This happens every once in a while where I lost half of the conversation with Erin and we're re-recording it after the fact. But I like to be honest and let's see if we can piece it together. But for anyone that doesn't know my dear friend Erin, what is your hero story?
My hero story. Well, first of all, let me just say thanks for having me back. It's like a bonus. It's like a bonus.
It's like, I couldn't get enough of you, so I decided to delete half of the conversation.
You're like, I'm just gonna erase this and have her back on. And it works for me. Totally works. Okay, so my hero story. I've not always been into health at all. I've been a musician for most of my life. I sang my first song when I was 5 years old. And so I lived a life of Krispy Kremes and Big Macs and Taco Bell and, all those things for a long, long time. And I didn't get to tell you this the first time. So I'm actually glad you're having me back. I got into health and fitness after a show we did. It was at we did a gig, a record executive came to the show. He said, you guys were amazing. I loved everything except for Erin, you're too fat to be wearing that on stage.
No way.
Yeah. And I was wearing white. So he was saying I was too fat to be wearing white on stage. And at the time, I wasn't fat by any stretch. But at the time I was like, it hadn't ever entered my mind that I might be have had too many Krispy Kremes or Big Macs to be wearing something. And so I'm a very intense person. And so my immediate reaction was, I kind of want to kill you. I kind of want to kill this guy. So what I'm going to do is, next best thing is revenge. I'm just going to look awesome. And so I started working out and I started taking better care of myself. And I noticed that things started changing. My mood was better. My skin was better. I just little things were better. And so being a musician, I figured out how to navigate that on the road. When my band would go to Taco Bell, I would, make different choices and ask to be dropped off at a grocery store. And I started my own business. I became a fitness trainer. I started helping people with that. And then I kind of ran myself into the ground with working out too much and with running, too many businesses and, staying up till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. for gigs. And eventually got diagnosed with a thyroid issue. And, I remember sitting in the doctor's office when I first got diagnosed. I had gone to multiple doctors and they had said, everything's fine. Would you like an antidepressant? Everything's fine. Would you like an anti-anxiety medication? And I was like, no, I would not like those things. I am not depressed. I am not anxious. Something is legitimate with me. And so when I finally got a diagnosis, I remember sitting there in the office saying, just no, no, I'm not going to have this. I'm not going to let this be my reality. This is not going to define me. And so I started on this quest to kind of figure out how to undo this thing that had happened to me. And again, I started helping people with that, not knowing what the hell I was doing. I was just helping people with that.
So a couple of things. Okay. So I actually personally know Erin and she's super awesome. You're 5 foot even. How tall are you?
I'm 5'1".
5'1".
I take
5'1"
that
and a quarter.
I'm I'm getting that one. Yeah. Exactly.
And then with a hat, it's 5'2". But so you're 5'1", and your frame is so small that I can never picture you being skinny fat.
Yeah.
When I started this journey myself, I was 200, at my highest, I was 220.
Wow.
Which is insane,
Yeah.
because it's so insidious, you're not it's not like you're planning for this but we do have this I'm just getting old kind of attitude towards this.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you're wearing white on stage and some jerk is telling you you're fat.
Yeah.
So it was compounded by
Mhm.
by an autoimmune disease, and that's super interesting. How long did it take you to find someone that said, okay, you have a thyroid problem?
I had had the symptoms of a thyroid issue for a while. I didn't know what it was. I thought I was frustrated. I thought I was overworked. I thought I was around toxic people. I thought it was a lot of things. I didn't really understand what the symptoms were. I mean, I didn't know what it was. I mean, even when the doctor finally said, you have hypothyroid, I was like, WTF? What's that? It doesn't sound good. Um, but I think I was actively pursuing help for at least 2 years.
Did you ever go into this health pursuit and became like obsessed with the disease rather with your health?
Yes. So in the sense of I was like, come hell or high water, I was going to figure it out, which is how the thyroid jumpstart even came to be. It was just because of my obsession with figuring this out. I was not going to ever give up on having my energy restored, feeling awesome, being able to do the things I wanted to do, be able to think clearly. I wasn't going to give up on that. So I did become quite obsessed with learning everything that I could about that particular disease and how it manifests and what can cause it, what can trigger it, like things that help and that type of thing. But on the other side of that, the outcome was always so I could live the way I wanted to.
And that is so important because, like, for example, I had a patient sometime back and my patient was having trouble with sleep. So I was like, I have all my like tricks, so, maybe you can take, some melatonin, or maybe you can take some GABA. Maybe we can do a little bit of progesterone, and because that binds to GABA receptors. And the patient was like, yeah, let's do this, super pumped. And then she's like, is this going to make me groggy? Because the reason I'm having trouble sleeping is because my daughter is waking up. She's going through a phase, waking up in the middle of the night and coming into to my room. And I was like, time out.
Yeah.
Time out. Because what does it matter if you're like the healthiest if you can't be there for your daughter?
Exactly.
So we need to be very clear on what the reason is for us to pursue this health.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just to change numbers on a paper? Is it to fulfill our rock and roll lifestyle?
Exactly. That's what I always tell my clients is I really don't give two rips what lab work says. I'm not a doctor. I don't read labs anyway. So it makes sense that I really don't care. But I don't care what the labs say. I care how you feel and how you live. And if there's a reason, if there's some sort of block between you doing what you know you want to do, could do, should do, then that is something worth looking into and doing everything in your power that you can to get to where you want to be. Whether it's happiness, whether it's more sleep, whether it's just having more energy, whether it's more flexibility, like it doesn't even matter. Whatever it is, you need to look at removing that block so that you can just singularly live the life that you want to.
So you're on your quest for this, health and try to overcome these obstacles. At what point do you start, your Facebook group and just grow it? And it's like pretty amazing what you've done.
Yeah, it was completely accidental and it's amazing.
And best things are, the best surprises in life are accidental.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 100% fly by the seat of my pants. Like I'm not a planner. I just fly by the seat of my pants and just hope everything works out, and it always does. So I, like I said, I was a trainer and a musician. So out on the road, got into really great shape. And people started asking me what I was doing. And so I was virtually training people who had busy, hectic schedules like myself. Maybe they traveled for work. Maybe they were musicians. Maybe just, they had a crazy lifestyle. And so I was helping them, figure out how they could get healthy and fit in a short amount of time and fit it into like an already crazy lifestyle. So in the background, I was dealing with this thyroid issue. And I didn't want to tell anyone because who's going to want to work with a trainer who has like a major underlying health issue? So I thought. Turns out, everyone. Because because they want to know like that you've actually dealt with something and you understand,
that you're real.
Yeah, and it helps people to feel heard. And so I started just helping my current clientele with what I was doing because it was giving me more energy. And then they found it was giving them more energy too. And then they were telling people, and then people would come to me and they're like, can you help me with this? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, but it seems to be working for me. Like I spend my life researching and reading, medical journals and articles on PubMed that I need a dictionary to sift through, but it seems to be going well. And so I started helping them, and then just word got out. And I found that there was this massive untapped group of women who were just like me, who had no idea that these symptoms were actually a thing. And that there was something deeper that they needed to look into. And I found that there was a certain level of education that I could give them that helped them to walk into their doctor's office in the power seat, knowing what they needed to ask for if they couldn't find someone like you or your clinic, in their area. Like they knew, I could tell them what tests to order. I could tell them what questions to ask. So they at least felt like they left that with more information and felt like they knew what to say when their doctor would say, would you like an antidepressant?
As a recovering extrovert, and I'm trying to be more empathetic to my introvert friends. How was that? Was it hard for you being an introvert? Because you would never believe that Erin is an introvert, but she is. Was it hard sharing this information with,
my husband made me. My husband's the extrovert in the family. And he made me share that what I was struggling with. And I remember sitting in the living room crying. Like I was just crying. And I was like, I don't want to. And he's like, you have to. You have to. He's like, first of all, if you don't, this is going to be like your prison. And second of all, if you don't, then all these people who are dealing with what you were dealing with are going to keep dealing with it. And you could help them. And I was like, well, crap. All right, fine. And so and so then I shared it. But then also, it has been challenging because when I see people who are really struggling, I want to help them, but I'm not the end all be all. You know what I mean? Like I'm not, I can't read their labs. I can't draw their labs. I can't tell them who to go to exactly in their area. I can tell them who I want them to go to. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I can't.
Well, but it's like that's the reason I have this podcast. Because me spending 45 minutes with one person, well, it beats 5 minutes and here's your antidepressant, first of all. But it's not scalable. It's not scalable. We're never going to change the world by going in and seeing one patient at a time. So I want to empower people to, learn how to talk to the doctor, go to places like your group, and be able to bridge that gap and be their own advocate. I tell my patients that, I'm also not the end all be all. I'm not, the coach. I'm not your, if imagine a football team, I'm not the coach. I'm more like a quarterback. I've seen the game. I've made some plays. I know how to win.
Yeah.
But my coach is my patient, and they can bench me. So being able to have that team effort, with this complete system of care is much more important than me reading a lab, than me prescribing something. And that's what's going to bring true health.
So many people have given over the reins to their doctor, just like, here I am, do what you want with me, instead of saying, like, we need to work together on this, and thinking that they have and owning that they have just as much say in their healthcare as their doctor does.
How do we change that system, though? Because that's what brought me into naturopathic medicine, and at some point during my first appointment with my patients, I talk about, like, this is not a perfect system. You're an organic, being. And maybe what has worked in 90% of people is not going to work on you. The worst thing that can happen is lack of communication. If you start having symptoms again, if you're doing great, and email me, hit me up, because I don't want you to fall through the cracks. It's not your fault. It's, it's like this whole system that we need to, that we need to fix. And, like one of my first blog posts on my website was how to select your practitioner. I was in medical school, and all my friends and my family was like, oh, I really like what you. And I'm like, I can't give you medical advice because I'll get kicked out of school and I'll never finish. and I can't say just go to a functional medicine doctor. I can't say just go to a naturopath, because there are so many ideas and there's so much misinformation. So I actually wrote like this, I think it's like 3,000 words on how to systematically pick someone. And places like your groups and are really helping advance this movement.
Yeah, like I have a section in my group that's how to find a practitioner too. Yeah. Of course, I try to push integrative health. Like I try to push you guys. I try to push that like heavy. It's in everything. I'm like, and if you can, you should try to go there.
This podcast brought to you by Dr. C. But and that's why I chose integrative health, because they align with every single one of the things that I was thinking, and having great mentors and great friends, like Ari Whitten and Dr. C, and like all the people we're gonna meet at Mindshare in a couple of days now. And okay, one more thing, for anyone listening, because anytime we have a guest, we pick up a couple of people on the podcast. The wave is about to crash. Don't get left behind. I started with my own health, listening to podcasts, reading blog posts. If you are sitting on the sidelines and you envision yourself maybe hosting your own podcast, maybe having your own Facebook group, the time is now. We need more practitioners. We need you. Whether you want to, write a blog and tell us about how you're cooking, your recipes, your tips on how to talk to a practitioner, or maybe your own journey. There are people willing to listen to you, and we need you. So, jump on our team, and I'll have you on my podcast, and Erin will have you on, write something for her, and we're going to change the world.
It's so important because, like maybe there's someone out there who figured out how to get their kid to stop coming in their bedroom at night so they can sleep. You know what I mean? And that benefited their family. Maybe you figured out how to get your kid to eat vegetables instead of grilled cheese sandwiches. You know what I mean? Like that's a thing. And the more of us that are on the same path, just the path to feeling awesome and feeling really great about what you're doing in life and helping other people, then like that just spreads. And then, God, can you imagine a world full of healthy, happy people?
Oh, well, yeah, I can. And I'm an idealist dummy, and that's I couldn't live with myself if I didn't think that changing the world was impossible. And I would just go into a corner and just the fetal position and just disconnect. But we can do it, and we're helping people every day, and that's the mission. That's the goal.
Yep.
Hey guys, this is where the conversation got cut off. We pick up talking about introverts and extroverts.
Like, for example, I don't like eating by myself. Like, that freaks me out. Whenever we go to a conference, my friends get like really upset with me because like, I'll be like, okay guys, what are we doing tonight? We're going to go quiet time or whatever. And like, it's 4:00 and then everyone's saying bye for the day. And someone says, hey, you want to go for dinner? Sure. Dragging everyone with me. And most of my friends are introverts. So it makes it super funny because by the end of the conference, it's just so exhausting,
Yes.
And then I'm like, exhausted, and I give it all my all, and then I get home and then I sleep for like 4 hours and hey, let's do another one,
Really?
Totally.
So how do you recharge?
By being around other people. Like, for example, we're talking before the call, my girlfriend is out in Florida visiting family. For a week I'm by myself and I am going insane. My phone is next to me, and every time I get a text, I'm like, oh, feel food, and I'm like texting, and so then I tell my girlfriend, you gotta text me, because like I'm like literally going insane, and it's funny because on the way over, like her screen kind of popped from the phone, so she has not had a phone for a couple of hours, and like I'm freaking out because like I just want that social aspect of things. I just want that connection.
Yeah.
Where people would be like, some people would be like, oh, cool, I get a week off, I get to recharge. No, not me, not at all.
That is so cool. So I'm totally the opposite, but I love that you know that. that you know that like this is how I recharge. I need like the interaction and all the things. That's exactly how my husband is. If he gets a moment by himself, he's texting me every detail of his life. Every detail of his life I'm going to get from in a text message.
Yeah, but that's, you know.
So what is your girlfriend? Is she extrovert or introvert?
Oh, she's total introvert.
Yeah.
I have the best job because like I'm around people and they're telling me their stories, and you know, and then I tell them what to do. So it's like the perfect job.
Exactly.
And it's exhausting, you know, and at the end of the day, like I'm mentally tired. But at the same time, you know, I don't see myself never being around people. You know, it's just crazy how, you know, like people are so interesting.
I totally agree. My mom is 100% extrovert. My sister is an introvert so hard, like so much so that when we would be at family get-togethers, she would like excuse herself and just go up and read, like in a bedroom by herself. I don't take it that far. I at least try to fake it.
And when did you? Yeah, and you know what? I would have never guessed.
Yeah, most people don't.
When did you figure out that you were an introvert?
I think it was just like 3 years ago. I had someone explain the difference between extroverts and introverts, and that introverts are people that recharge by being by themselves. And I go to a lot of events and conferences and speaking engagements and things like that, and concerts and things. And I would find that after each one, I would have an immediate crash, like crash and burn after every one. And it's just that I need that to recharge. So after a major event, like with friends, you know, if we were at a conference and then all the friends wanted to go out to dinner, I would not want to, even though they're my friends. I'd be like, I don't want to, because I've been around people all day. Like, I want to go to my room. I will, like I told you, I'll go and I'll be social, but then I want to go to my room so bad. So when I learned that like 3 years ago, I was like, thank God. I thought something was wrong with me. I thought I was a grade A asshole, because I was just like, why do I want to not be around people that I love?
Yeah.
And then I learned it. So now I'm okay with it.
And you know, and technology makes it harder for you, you know, and you know, to a certain extent, you know, if I didn't have the ability to text and phone call, then I wouldn't be like, seriously, I get like depressed and I get like panicky, you know, and I start doing crazy things like cleaning my house and ironing all my clothes and cooking for 4 days ahead. So technology is affecting me, but you know, this social media thing where you're getting constant reminders and you're getting all this dopamine hits with your ding ding, you know, text message or Facebook message, or how do you separate yourself and allow yourself to have some real free time?
I have an amazing team that works with me, and they are, well, one of them actually is my sister. I hired my sister 2 years ago.
The introvert.
The introvert. And then
poor thing. Now we're talking about her. She's going to go curl up in a corner.
She will. And then I have another one of my best friends that's on my team, and they love me and respect my personality and who I am. And so they kind of help me. I didn't realize I needed it, but they helped me set up boundaries. So I have no notifications that go off on my phone. Like I set them all to off. And then I have kill newsfeed on my Facebook. So when I'm on Facebook for business, I don't see, there's no newsfeed to scroll. Because also I'm a sensitive person, sensitive to other people's, what's going on in their life. And so if I see that someone like is hurting, or like they lost their dog, or like they're struggling, then that affects me for days. Like I can't let it go. So I put up those kind of boundaries, but also, you know, I just set like a hard deadline for the day, like no more work, no more social media at this point. I don't allow myself on social media between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. So that I can just like have time to not be with people.
That was one of the biggest things that I did. And I did it, you know, I think like a couple of weeks after I moved to Arizona, I turned off my phone notifications. So like my texts, not even the vibration.
Yeah.
You know, so my phone is completely silent all day long. And I, you know, I do carry my phone, and I need to be better about that, about constantly checking my phone. But I was addicted to that, you know, to that notification, you know, doing that. And now with, you know, with Apple doing things like do not disturb while driving. And, you know, I think we're moving in the right direction. Definitely not even enough to where we need to be.
Oh yeah.
But a good step in the right direction.
You know, everybody who has the Apple Watches, they're like, oh, I love my Apple Watch. I'm like, that's like a shot collar.
Yeah.
It's like a shot collar. I can't get that. Like,
No,
I can't have that on my wrist. No.
You know, I want one just because they're cool. And
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, but it would be insane, you know, just to have that notification all of the time.
All the time.
You know, especially with, you know, like for example, someone like you that has such huge social media networks, you would develop like some sort of arthritis from all the vibrations on your phone.
Oh yeah. But like it used to really stress me out before I had the boundaries. I was just like between Facebook, Instagram, my email, and like personal messages, it would get to the point where like my friends would text me and they wouldn't hear back from me for like 2 weeks. And I would open up my, you know, Facebook inbox and I'm like, you know, like there's just so much. And then finally I was just like, yeah, I need help with this. And also I need to not be checking it all the time because I was just like on someone else's schedule.
Now, you define yourself as a rocker chick. So what makes a rock chick?
I believe that a rock chick is a woman who lives life on their terms. Your health, your life, your confidence, your attitude, your passions, your purpose, all that stuff, you make your own rules. Like my sister always says, why do you have to break the rules, Erin? Why can't you just go by the rules? The essence of like a rocker chick is just someone who's just badass. They walk into every room and they just own it. Whether or not they know what they're doing or not, extrovert or introvert, whether they're just learning or experience, like they just own it and they're open to whatever comes their way.
So are you a rock chick or are you aiming to be one or are you in the process of becoming, or you want to be like the top rock chick in your Erin lifetime?
So I totally am one already.
Of course you are.
Already. But there's a version of me that I want to be in, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, all those things. Like I have this vision for my life. And, at every single stage of my life, I want to be just a little bit more badass, just a little bit more confident, just a little bit more, all those things, just making sure that always that I'm living my life on my terms and not other people's expectations of me, what they think I should do, what they think I should say, what they think I should have, none of that.
When did you decide that you wanted to try to teach others or help others or others help you achieve this rock chick status?
I don't think that I decided I wanted to help people. I think they decided for me. Like I said, I'm sympathetic to people and I saw a need and I wanted to help them. I mean, I was up front. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm willing to help you. So yeah, I just think over time, like I didn't have, my childhood was rough. I didn't have a super great childhood, but I was taught perseverance and resilience very young. And so I think there was always this desire in me to just be as badass as I could, and if something sucked, which many things over the years have, that was my opportunity to either learn from it or to let it take me down. And that's not an option.
So in your health journey, where are you at this point?
In my health journey, I'm really good right now. I'm always working towards better. I'm always working towards, like I posted on my Instagram stories today that I got, oh gosh, I can't even believe I'm telling you this, but I ordered decaf coffee to have cause sometimes I want the flavor after 4. So, to have a little decaf coffee. So, I'm always trying to be better. I'm always trying to have more energy. I'm always trying to sleep better. I'm always trying to, in the next year or so, I want to try to maybe have kids.
Oh man, baby rocking kids.
That's the scariest thing I've ever said. Like, honest to God, like whenever it comes to like thinking about having kids, if anything was going to scare me, that would be it.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
But thankfully there's experts out there that, have done it. And, we can always, rely on our community, on our tribe, because there is a point where you're going to have to let this child loose. So a couple of things. I don't want kids. A. B. The reason I don't want kids is because I am too neurotic. And I completely would just curl up in a ball just thinking about what's going on with that kid at any time. I wouldn't be able, I worry about my dog.
I am totally relating to you right now. Like I'm so obsessive about my dogs. Yeah. Like I'm definitely nervous about it.
Because of the way society works, and because of, social media and all of this stuff and helicopter parenting, one of the things that happens is that we let our kids never get hurt. We pad the playgrounds, and we do all these things to protect them. Kids
Yes.
are growing up without any injuries, and without any, without being let down and things like that. And then they turn 18, and then we give them the keys to a car.
Yes. Oh my God. This is so spot on. That's the thing. It's like the kids are so protected. When I was a kid, my mom, God, I hope she can't get in trouble for this now, but she took me on a plane when I had chickenpox. She just told me to wear a turtleneck. She put a turtleneck on me to cover my spots and told me to be quiet. We were getting on the plane.
I'm on a journey to abolish kids' menus. We go and to a restaurant, some pretty cool restaurants, and you're having like this, paleo meal, or this like beautiful organic grass-fed, and then on the child's menu, macaroni and cheese.
And chicken nuggets.
Or
grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese. And the super palatable, very low nutrient dense foods. We should feed kids adult food. If you're feeding yourself something, now I don't have any kids, so I can't really say, I don't have a say on this.
No, but I agree. Okay, I totally agree. Here's a really good example. My sister, she has 2 kids. One is 4.5 and the other one is 2.5. And when they want a snack, they go to the refrigerator and they grab the fresh cucumbers and the fresh raspberries that they just picked from their garden. They don't even want the crappy food. Like, they don't want that. They want the things that they've grown up eating. And so I think you can train them young. You just don't have the macaroni and cheese, and then they don't want it.
It makes sense to me, but somehow it's not. And I think a lot of times it's like, I used to be a fat little kid, I don't have a sweet tooth. So my treats were like hot dogs at the gas station. That was my thing.
Ooh,
so like every time I go to a gas station, like I would get a hot dog. And like, I remember, thinking when I was like 10 or 11, once I get my license, every time I gas up my car, I'm going to walk into the gas station, I'm going to get a chili dog. And that was like my dream. So I imagine that if I had a kid, then I would want them to love chili dogs and hot dogs, so then like I would be like, and it's crazy, because we want to share joy. And
yes, I get that.
So it would be very hard for me to be like a dictator, and try to establish like a gluten-free, corn-free, soy-free, fun-free house.
Fun-free. We don't have fun here.
No fun.
Yeah, dude, I totally get you, because, my grandpa loves to make chocolate chip cookies. And if I had a kid, you think I'm not going to let my kid have the grandpa's chocolate chip cookies? Of course I'm going to. And I want to do fun things like go get ice cream, but like, I don't know. Thanks for stressing me out a little bit more about it.
Go get decaf coffee.
And donuts.
So you're in Nashville. Where do you go for your coffee?
My kitchen, or there are 2 places I love.
I have two places in Nashville.
You do? You have 2 too? Okay, here are my 2.
Okay.
My 2, one is Mama's Java. That's just like literally, 0.3 miles away from me. It's amazing. You can watch them do everything with coffee. I've been meaning to get into pour-overs. I have a friend from Australia, and he told me that pour-overs are the only way to fly. So I'm going to have to try that. But he also told me if I'm not used to it, it's like a punch in the face. So we'll see. And then the other place is called The Well. The Well.
I've not been to either.
Oh my God. The Well has literally the best cold brew ever.
Huh.
Oh my God.
So my places are 8th and Roast.
Yes, that's good too.
With the they have like you have espresso bar, but then across from the espresso bar they have a slow bar, and they have like vacuum pots and pour overs, and and you can just do your own. So like you're learning to make an AeroPress, you can learn. And then Crema.
Oh, I've never been there, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, Crema is really good.
Okay.
So those are my 2 places in Nashville, and that I now I need to go to Mama's Java and The Well.
The Well especially, like, you get their cold brew. Just don't even waste your time with anything else.
So let's talk about coffee. How come you're not drinking coffee?
Oh, I am. I am. Don't worry.
So let's talk a little bit about that. Okay.
Okay.
So you're very open about what's going on with your health. So you
Yes.
have some thyroid problem.
Yes.
Okay. So what's the deal with the coffee? How come people say, oh, you shouldn't drink it. Oh, you should drink it. It doesn't matter.
So people with coffee get weird. Some people say that most people say that it's really hard on your adrenals and you're going to have that crash. And also people who I've worked with, especially who have had thyroid issues, what they tend to do is they mask their symptoms and they think they just need more coffee. They just need more coffee instead of like actually identifying, like, you shouldn't be having your coffee for your energy. You should have energy and then enjoy your coffee.
Correct.
And it gives you a little bit of a boost when you need it. And so for me, I have my cup of coffee every morning. Don't get me wrong. I will not give that up because, as you always say, you got to live your life.
You got to live your life. Yeah.
But I love the taste of it. So I could drink it all day and I don't want to.
No, I want to.
No, I want to, but I don't need to. So like for my, maybe 3 p.m. cup of coffee that I like, I would love that to not be a caffeine hit. So I got this chaga and reishi decaffeinated situation. I'm trying.
Have you tried like Dandy
Blend?
Dandy Blend, or
I have.
Do you like it?
No.
People say, oh, it tastes just like coffee. No, it doesn't.
And it does not. No, it doesn't. It does not taste like coffee. And I've also tried matcha, but matcha gives me an instant headache.
Really?
So, yeah. And they're like, oh no, it's like, it shouldn't give you any jitters. I'm like, it doesn't give me jitters. It's just like I have matcha and I instantly don't feel right.
So green tea, in the morning. So green tea is super awesome. It has a bunch of antioxidants and ECGC and, all these different things. And it's super healthy and whatever. It makes me so nauseous.
Really?
Like unbelievably nauseous. So I can't drink green tea. Like
you
maybe
can't have it either.
Like if I eat something, it's okay, but like it will make me so nauseous, and it has like high levels of tannins, and those tannins just like you just fuck with me, like insane.
Yeah. So you told me the same thing about rhodiola. I was on a little bit of rhodiola for a little while for adrenals, and I was like, it's making me crazy. It's making me crazy. And yeah, you said that can happen to people.
Yeah. So rhodiola lets your cortisol stay around a little bit longer, and that can just put you overboard. Yeah. It's so interesting because we do live in, and you said it, like when you open your social media empire, you were like, I don't know anything. This is what's working for me. Results may vary.
Right.
But people, sadly, not everyone is as honest. And then they start saying, oh, you need to do this in order to achieve health. And that's how we end up with like really crazy movements, and trends within this health space. And then the worst part of these trends is that sometimes these trends kind of, once they're disproven or once enough people get hurt by them, then they start discrediting the good stuff that maybe is applicable to everyone, like sleep. And then people, because I have friends that have said, or patients that have said, I went to the doctor and my doctor said, oh, what you eat doesn't matter. And I'm like, what? But that gets bundled up with, oh, you need to eat butter coffee, and you need to, all of these things that might be on the fringes of science get bundled up with these things that are completely valid and scientific.
Right. There's a lot of confusion within when my clients come to me for Thyroid Jumpstart, there's so much confusion. They're like, but this person said this, and then this blog said that, and then this doctor said that, and then this doctor, and I'm like, all right, so that's why you're here.
Yeah.
So I can help you. This is the stuff I know for sure, is true. And this is the stuff that you should focus on just generally. And then the other stuff, can we just forget about it for a while and simplify the things so that you can actually live your life and enjoy your life and stop trusting Dr. Google for everything. You know what I mean? Because one of the things that I'm the most proud of is that I can refer people to you, to Dr. C, to people who specialize in certain areas. And if you don't specialize in that area, you probably know someone who does.
Correct.
That's a beautiful thing. So one of my biggest things is just clearing away the clutter and the misinformation for people so that they feel like they actually have hope again. Because that will really rob you of your hope, is if you think that there's just, what's the point of even trying? There's so much conflicting information.
So right now, what are your favorite, health things that you're doing, that you're doing, like, the latest things that you're trying maybe, or, some of the stuff that is like giving you a lot of mileage?
Okay, so a couple things. One, I bought some new blue light blocking glasses.
Cool.
They're called True Darks, and they're super. I've always had some. Well, for the past couple of years, I've used them, but these are legit. And I can watch TV. Like, I'm not a TV watcher, but I can do it like for an hour at night with these on, because everything's just like totally blocked. They're amazeballs. They're a little bit more pricey, but they're totally worth it. The next thing I'm doing is I tend to be super intense, and I will do CrossFit every day of my life if left to my own devices. So I'm doing Pilates and yoga because that gives me more longevity. Like, I know my body needs it. It craves it. It feels better when I do Pilates and yoga. So I'm doing that for myself, trying to be calm and zen. Let's see. Other things I'm doing. I just did chelation.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. I did chelation to get heavy metals out of my body. I didn't have super high levels of like lead, but I had some. And you have like a zero tolerance policy.
I have zero tolerance for lead. I'm not gonna wait until you hit, what is it, like 4 or 6? Not gonna wait for that. Especially if someone that in the future maybe perhaps wants to have a kiddo. There is this theory, and that whenever you're having a baby, you kind of take that time to detoxify a little bit, and you kind of put a lot of toxins into the child because it's going to leave you. Yeah. So
that's crazy.
I know.
I've never heard it explained like that. That's crazy.
And so we live in a very dirty environment, and even if you had zero metals in you, I would totally recommend chelation, just to try to help you detoxify a little bit. It's very gentle. There's a lot of people that get scared, and they're like, oh, you're just removing things, and you're gonna make a bigger mess by starting to clean. That's not the case. What the medications that we use for chelation do is make things more water soluble for you to be able to get rid of them through your urine. And at the same time, we do a couple of things. We do glutathione in the IV. We do all the minerals that you lose, we're putting back. And then on top of that, we recommend using charcoal or other methods of detoxification to prevent this from happening. And listen, I'm not gonna get someone that is constipated and can't sweat. The biggest detoxifiers are probably your skin and your poop. And if you're not doing those two things, I'm not going to just, start jostling around metals. You have to be at a certain level of health for you to start doing that. And it's amazing, symptoms that you never thought were related to anything tend to go away, and you start feeling better because your detoxification pathways start to work.
It's awesome. Yeah, I had people tell me, they're like, no, you shouldn't do that because it's terrible for your organs. And I was like, listen, I believe this guy. It's going to be fine. Yeah. And I didn't get nauseous. Some people get nauseous, I guess. I didn't do any of that. So
no, it's going to be very exciting to see the results of before and after.
Yeah. I don't even know. Like you said, I don't even know what to expect. But I did that. Let's see what else. I'm going to Mindshare.
Oh, you're going to go to Mindshare?
Are you going?
I'm going. So,
yay.
So now we're going to have a bonus round question.
Okay. So
spitfire. Okay, Erin.
Is this fast?
Well, I just want you to tell me what you are thinking at the moment. Okay.
Okay.
So question 1, you tell me that you don't watch TV. What are you watching on TV?
I like to watch Lord of the Rings.
Okay. Favorite quote. I heard someone told me that you can recite the whole thing.
Oh, favorite quote from the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you.
Wow. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's one. Okay. What are you listening to?
Listening to, I'm always
CD player, or I just dated myself. What's in your Walkman?
I'm always listening to Fleetwood Mac, and I listened to Walk the Moon this morning too.
Childhood music that you used to hate.
Fair and Young and Hank Snow.
Ooh, now I gotta go listen to that because I don't know what that is.
My grandpa would sing that while he walked around the house, and he would whistle, and I didn't like it at the time, but now when he puts it on, I'm like, let the good times roll. It's old school country. Old school
country. I like, I didn't like country for a very long time.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a big Dolly Parton fan.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And one of my favorite quotes is when she was doing pop country, and then she did Little Sparrow and folksy stuff. She said that she had to get rich in order to be able to sing like she was poor.
Oh, yeah.
Because no one would, like if you don't have that, that backing, and if you don't have like, trust me, this is gonna work. No one's gonna give you a contract. No one's
exactly.
So sometimes we do have to sell out a little bit. We do have to become a little bit famous. We do have to be on social media doing the selfies in order to go back and sing like we were poor and help the people that matter to us.
Exactly. That's a good one.
What is your current anthem?
You asked me for what my motto is?
Yeah, well, like your okay. So what's your motto, and what is like the song that is like, okay, this is gonna pump me on? I need
100% Aerosmith, Dream On, every time.
Dream On.
Look, it's right here on my wall. Dream On.
Dream On.
And my motto right now is limitations are illusions.
And then finally, have you listened to Hamilton?
I have not.
Oh, okay. Now, doctor's orders.
Okay.
You have to, next time you're flying, this is what you're going to do. You're going to download the lyrics to Hamilton.
Okay.
And you're going to listen to Hamilton while reading the lyrics.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I will do that. When we were in New York a couple months ago, I wanted to go see Hamilton, and we couldn't get in. We had a certain amount of time we couldn't get in, so we ended up going and seeing Kinky Boots, which was funny. Levi's like, okay, Hamilton or Kinky Boots, but I still want to see it so bad.
Go listen to the album. Like seriously, it's one of the best pieces of work ever. After listening to it, no lie, I've listened to it around 400 times.
Oh my God, you are with Hamilton what I am with Lord of the Rings. This is awesome. Okay, I'll do it.
So I'll rewatch Lord of the Rings. You listen to Hamilton. How's that?
Okay, deal.
Because I do have a couple of days without a girlfriend, and I don't know what to do. I might as well watch something nerdy.
Yes, to let it change your life. Do yourself a favor and get the extended editions because there's some good shit in there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Erin, this has been fantastic. Where can people find you?
They can go to fitrockerchick.com or check me out on Instagram or Facebook, and both places it's at fitrockerchick.
Awesome. And let's circle back in around 3 or 4 months, maybe after Mindshare. Maybe at Mindshare we can do a live, a Facebook Live with you, Ari, myself, and just get all the Facebook people and answer their questions directly.
Yes.
That would be so amazing.
Oh my God, I would love it. I will host you and Ari. It would be so fun.
And then we'll go to all the dinners. We'll talk to all the people. No time off, no downtime.
You'll help me extrovert.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, such a pleasure. Always love to see you at the office. It's just yes, she's here. It's
so fun. You guys, could I just plug your clinic real quick?
Go ahead,
because listen, I'm not paid. I'm not affiliated with their clinic or anything like that, but their clinic is amazing. So integrativehealthcare.com, and you can go book an appointment. But everybody was so nice. I was hugging everyone. I was just gosh.
It's such a cool, it's such a healing place. It sounds corny, but it's just such a healing place. It's so awesome.
Great.
It's a great place.
Yeah. It's like Nashville with the people.
In IVs and needles.
Yeah. Just good people and IVs and needles.
Yeah, that's it. It's just like Nashville.
Yeah.
Awesome. Erin, thank you so much for this interview. I can't wait to hang out again. I'm so pumped that you're going to be in San Diego. You'll totally will have listened to Hamilton at least once.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.